Okay, I am going to send our invite over to Jackie, who is trying to get in. So let me do that. Okay, great. All right, welcome everyone. Mountain Women in Business. Good to see everyone's faces. Before I begin, I think I just want to say a quick thank you for everybody hanging out with us on this Zoom during the crazy times. I think that our numbers of the amount of women that are participating in Mountain Women in Business really speaks volume to, just the dedication and the small business, gathering of women. So I really appreciate everybody hanging in with us. I think we're going to try to start meeting in person in September or October, but so I know the Zooms can be difficult and exhausting, but so thanks for being here. Okay, Stephanie Faradini, and I am the Secretary Treasurer of Mountain Women in Business, and I'm a paralegal. So I work with attorneys who they can't afford or don't want the overhead of traditional employees, so I contract out with them. And I also do QuickBooks online for a lot of clients in the Conifer area, so that's fun. I'm kind of a Jackie of all trades. So if you have any questions on Mountain Women in Business, you want to pay me, give me money, I'm more than happy to take it and answer your questions. So we're going to do just a quick 30-minute or 30-second introduction for everybody, and I'm going to just start at the top of my list, and that is with Deb Evans. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Happy to see everybody. Just a reminder that please put your contact information in the chat so we can all connect on your social channels. I am a retired franchise social media professional, but I'm happy to help anybody that needs any assistance at any time for the cost of a glass of wine or a cup of coffee. So have a good day, and I look forward to hearing from our speakers.
Great. Okay, Rachel, our president of Mountain Women in Business. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Rachel of Rachel's Creations. I've had my own business since '99. I specialize in murals, face painting for parties and events, canvas painting parties, and whatever other unique artsy projects people want me to help with. I'm also a house and pet sitter. I've done that for over 35 years. That's why I have Zoom and the full link this morning, because I'm not at my house. And I also work part-time at Mac Nation Cafe 3 days a week. It's kind of exciting news, but on July 28th, we are going to be on the cooking channel on the Food Paradise show on Food Network. The episode's called Dynamic Duos. So I don't know how to tape it or how to deal with that because I don't get the cooking channel, but tune in if you can. It's going to be fun. And happily, my phone is ringing again since May. I'm booking a lot of fun events, and feel free to be on my Facebook page because a lot of them that are coming up are going to be public for face painting and fun things like that. Woohoo! One other quick thing. I'm also commiserating with the gal that owns the Nature Link. It's a new little studio in Kings Valley where she does pottery classes. She does just all kinds of neat nature learnings and things. And she has a little art studio there. And I'm going to be doing canvas painting classes sometimes and face painting if people want to have birthday parties there. So look her up too. Her name's Dina Baker. And it's kind of exciting. That's it. I'll shut up.
Great. Okay. Good morning. Alicia, good morning.
Morning. Good morning. Alicia Sexton, Remax Alliance in Evergreen, specialize in residential real estate, anywhere from Blackhawk down now to Colorado Springs. I belong to that MLS as well. So I can, if you guys ever have questions down in that area, let me know as well. Been in the business for 22 years. Just got my notice that I've been with Remax for 20 years. So, but I'm not getting any older, I promise. So that's me. Take care.
Okay, great. Beth, good morning.
Good morning, everybody. I am a life coach and a well-being coach, and my company is Pearl Coaching, LLC. And the one thing I want to talk about is on Wednesday night, I'm having a Pearls of Wisdom Circle. I've had a few of these. I have a speaker once a month, and this month is going to be Sue Frederick. I don't know if you know who she is. We'll be talking about shifting our energy, using intuition, purpose, and wisdom to heal and live our best lives. And the way to sign up is just to go to my website and sign up for my newsletter, and then that day I'll send out the Zoom link. But they've been pretty fun. So if anybody wants to join in, just go to my website and sign up. So, and also I've got a part-time job at the Elk Creek Fire Department. So I'll be on any wildfires going on in the area. So yeah.
They could always use the help.
Oh yeah.
Great. All right. Josie, I think I said that right. Josie?
Yeah, hi, I'm Josie. I'm new to today is my first time meeting, but I've had a business managing nonprofit associations, like professional associations, for about the last 15 years. And a lot of our associations have board meetings and social meetings. So it made sense to find a building where we could hold those kind of meetings. So I bought the building next to Mac Nation. It was the old art gallery across from the post office. So yeah, and so we're also doing our client meetings there, but we're also making it available. We're calling it the meeting sanctuary, and we're letting people do meetings there, or retreats or trainings or small social gatherings. We put a waterfall in the back, and we built a courtyard, and so it's got about 5 different outside patios and things like that to get together and gather. I'd like to learn more about Rachel's group, because we want to be able to do like canvas paintings or, fun things like that there. So, and me, I live in Denver, but I've been in Colorado my whole life, and I'm getting to know the beautiful area of, Evergreen, Indian Hills. That's it.
Great. Well, welcome. welcome.
Thank
Pat, our Vice President of Mountain Women in Business.
There, yeah, Pat Frederickson's Mountain Women, Colorado, and that's pretty exciting, Josie. And that's down in Indian Hills. Okay, because
Sorry.
Yeah, we do want to start meeting in person in September. So anyway, what I do is help you with your retirement. I can do a plan for you. We do both sides, the safe money, at risk, and Medicare is coming up. I help you with that. Right now I'm working with a client that doesn't have quite enough income, even with what we're doing with the planning, but I've connected her with Senior Resource, and we're getting her expenses down so that she can afford to live and exist and stay in her home. So if you have any questions about Medicare, it's coming up, open enrollment this fall. I'm doing about 40 hours of testing right now for it. It's so exciting in July. I just look forward to that. But there's a lot of neat programs out there this year, and yeah, it's going to be exciting this fall. So anyway, Pat Frederickson, Mountain Women, Colorado.
Great. Lisa Hemstreet, good morning.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Lisa. I am a photo manager, which means for 26 years, I have helped people save, organize, print, share their photos and videos. So if you have items that are stuck on little tapes like this that you can no longer enjoy, I can help you get those digitized and scanned so that you can actually enjoy them again. If you're somebody whose cell phone always tells you it is full and is out of space because you have too many photos and videos, I can help you get those off there, get them saved and protected so that you can enjoy them and take more images. So if you have any projects coming up, if you have a graduate or you want to make a special gift for somebody, let me know. Holidays are coming, believe it or not. They are right around the corner, and I do holiday cards. So if you send out a holiday card for business or for personal, I do those as well. photo mugs, mouse pads, anything that you would want to give to clients. Real estate agents, holiday ornaments are really popular for your families that are moving into a new home. You can welcome them. So if anybody has gift items that you need, let me know and I'll put my information in the chat. Thank you.
Great. Good morning, Kim T.
I'm Kim Tresnak. I have Granny T Woodworks, and I basically do a lot of like pyrography work, which is burning on wood designs. I do a lot of craft shows. So I make a lot of aspen lamps and coat and key hooks and all kinds of stuff that would you put in a craft show. That's me.
Okay, great. Well, good morning. Audra, good morning.
Good morning, everyone. I think, is it Audra or Audrey?
Well, let's go with you, Audrey.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead, Audrey.
Sorry, thank you. Hi, Stephanie. Nice to see everyone. I'm with Aging Services Consultants, and I serve as a care manager, as well as I provide referral and placement for people that are looking at life transitions, moving possibly from their home into assisted living or independent living. I also provide as far as care management services. If people want to stay in their homes, we can look at their homes and make sure that they're safe, as well as provide caregivers. So give me a call if you know somebody that is going through a life transition. People wait typically. I have several clients right now. It's like wild, but people wait until it's an emergency. It would be so much better to plan ahead so that people can make choices. And everyone, please forgive me. I have to leave in about 15 minutes. So just so you know, but I just think you guys are wonderful women in business. Right on, mountain women in business. Thank you.
Thank you. You pop out when you need to, so no worries. All right, let's go to Audra. I think I'm saying that right.
Yes. Hi, everybody. My name is Audra Ayori. I am also a first timer here, like Josie. I joined the group a few months ago, and I finally just pulled the plug. I'm like, I just got to get my butt up in the morning, put my hair up in a ponytail, and start joining you ladies. So thanks so much for welcoming us. I am a mortgage lender with Caliber Home Loans. I've been doing this for about 19 years now, and I just recently moved to the Bailey area about 8 months ago. I do a lot of work with first-time home buyers, a lot of work with veterans, and anybody who's buying a house that needs maybe a little bit of fixing up. I do a lot of renovation financing as well. So thanks again for welcoming us to the group.
Wonderful. Welcome. Great. Lisa, good morning.
Good morning. Hi, everybody. I'm Lisa Hoffman. I'm a local realtor with Berkshire Hathaway Elevated Living Real Estate in Evergreen. My office is right by Evergreen Lake. I'm a certified mountain area specialist and a seniors real estate specialist. And I've been doing this for over 10 years. So I did not sign up for the Mountain Women in Business at Elevation Celebration because I will be there tomorrow or Saturday with Intermountain Humane Society, which is where I volunteer. So I will maybe see some of you there on Saturday, and I'll just be in another booth.
Great. Great. All right. Good morning, Ruth. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing well. I am Ruth Day from Bailey, Colorado, and I have a company that's called Clean & Green 123. I'm a Norwex independent consultant. So I do, hopefully, back to home parties, but I also do online, and I do one-on-one demonstrations. Also will do coffee chats. Interested in helping you change your cleaning habits in your home or in your business. And that is introducing you into products that help you do that. And if they're green products. And so if you're ever interested in that, please reach out to me. I'd love to be able to come and introduce you to the Norwex products if you're not familiar with them. And I will be at a booth at Bailey Day. So if you're there, or Bailey Day, I was at Bailey Day but I'll be at Elevation Celebration. And if you're there, please come by and say hello, and I can show you some of the products and how they work then.
Great. They are great products. Great. Okay. Good morning, Jackie. How are you?
Sure. Hi, everyone. I'm Jackie Angelo, and I actually have two businesses to share with you. I have my business, Turning Point Health and Wellness. So I'm a registered nurse. I'm a nurse coach, so I do health and wellness coaching. And then my husband and I have a business called Blue Leaf Design Build. So we do home remodeling. We do additions, we do custom millwork and custom furniture, and he is an amazing craftsman. So if anybody needs any work, we definitely would love to talk with you. And I will also be at Elevation Celebration both days with a booth that I am sharing for both my business and my husband's business. So I'd love to talk to you guys and tell you a little bit more about what we do.
Wonderful. All right. Good morning, Karen Miller.
Good morning. How's everybody? I'm Karen Miller, KSM Designs. I design one of a kind. I refurbish, I repurpose, I recycle, and whatever. If there are things you don't want anymore, just let me know, because I love to recycle things. But the weddings are in full force right now. If you have any special gala thing you want to go to, I do carry one of a kind jewelry. I'm up at a Bagata at Touch of Colorado in Belmar. And then I'm also, believe it or not, I'm in a country furniture store up there in Conifer. I'm still looking for another store, a little more high end, but if I can help you at all, my name is Karen Miller, KSM Designs, and one of a kind. Take care and thanks.
Great. Rebecca, good morning.
Good morning. Hi, I'm Rebecca Parent. I'm a Technology Solutions, and I do curriculum design and other technology solutions. My most recent work was working with STEM education with youth and teachers and coaching through unique things with robotics, drones, and anything technology related, but kind of off the beaten path. But I have a lot of history in working with business owners in any technology problems or solutions that you need. So that is me.
Great, great, great. Karen Brass, good morning.
Good morning. I don't know if you can hear me or not. Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Good. I've been trying to get on through my computer so I could have video, but I'm on my cell phone, so I didn't miss anything. But
okay.
I am two businesses as well. I am a Mary Kay sales director. So if you need any sunscreen or are interested in any anti-aging products or even natural products, Mary Kay carries them all, and I can train you on how to use them. Or if you're interested in having an anti-bullying campaign shared with your children's school, that's the other business I have called Stand Upsters. And I teach how to be an ally for anyone who's being discriminated against. So I'm excited. I'm also an author, and my third book is actually out in print. So I'm very excited about that. Book openings, and I'm in a couple of bookstores down in town, as well as over in Evergreen. So hopefully we will see you at Elevation Celebration. I'm looking forward to meeting all of you. We had so much fun together, and I'm so grateful for this group. Thanks a lot.
Great. So if you could put the name of your book and maybe where we could find it in that chat, that would be fantastic.
Well, I can't do it from my phone, but I could do it from my computer. It's just I'll let you in soon, so I hope somebody can push that button.
Okay, I'm sure Deb can push that button. All right, so we have Mark from Conifer Radio, which I'm going to just wait on that introduction for his speaking. And we also have Dr. Laura Cole, and she's going to speak first. Before I turn that over, did I miss anybody? Perfect. Okay, so very exciting to hear from you, Dr. Cole. It's just gonna be a tight 20 minutes, and we're excited to learn all of these things you have.
All right, I am starting my timer because time is so valuable.
Okay.
Okay, I'll explain a little bit about myself. I started many years ago, 23. Well, I graduated from Gallaudet University, which is the only deaf liberal arts university in the world. Actually, with a social work degree to become a deaf counselor, which I did for about 6 weeks. Unethical agency, so I transferred to interpreting. I'm interpreting for 23 years ever since. I love it. After I was interpreting for a while, I noticed I was kind of getting taken advantage of because I love people and I get along with all people, but I don't like working for anyone except myself. Same as all of you, I'm noticing. So, but I was getting taken advantage of with payment, and so they started telling me things about tax. So I researched IRS law for hours and hours and hours. And I started giving workshops about how to start and run your business to become an independent sign language interpreter, how to save money with taxes, the legal, how to set it up, all of that. So that was really cool because I want to encourage all people, including women, of course, to become independent, not depend on other companies. So it's so nice to see all of y'all doing the same thing. When I became 40, I had that life transition and I became I got my doctorate's degree in spiritual studies and I did a transition of becoming a life coach. So I still interpret, but most of my time is being a life coach, helping people become exactly what they want, the vision of a life, either relationships, health, business, and time and money freedom. But I'm going to put my website down so you can see more about that. I have videos. But today I heard y'all wanted to learn about sign language because when you meet a deaf person, what do? Right? You just feel like a deer in headlights. So there's a few rules that I want to discuss that's best when working with a deaf client to make it more smooth for all of y'all. And right now I'm signing and speaking at the same time. It's called total communication, but American Sign Language is not English word order. I'm just giving you signs. So if you want to pick them up later, watch this video and you can learn more. But I want to encourage you too, because of the internet, you can find any word, any phrase now. You just type in whatever you want to know. How can I help you? ASL. Just add ASL, and that's going to pop up several websites that will show you how to sign them. And you might notice there's several different ways to sign them because, again, sign is not English. All right. For example, maybe you want to ask a deaf person, how can I help you? Right? So you just start with how. You do your hand, how. Hopefully you can see how. And then you simply sign help because the hand was helping the other hand up, but you do it directionally towards them, help you. So the whole sentence in ASL is just going to be how, help you, as opposed to help me, right? Directional. Because ASL is conceptual, it's 3D, it's not linear like English. So it's not necessary to sign every word. So when you see a video and you notice they're not signing every word, it's because they're doing ASL and not English. Now, if you want to learn every English word, go for it. Because the point is you're trying. And a lot of deaf people don't even get people who try. So if you're giving an effort, you should have more positive experience with it. Okay. But with that being said, one of the worst phrases you can say is, oh, I've always wanted to learn sign. They hear that every day and it's frustrating because people don't. About 98% of people that say, oh, I've always wanted to learn sign, don't, and you don't want to hear it. That's like saying, I've always wanted to order blank product that you sell, but they never do, right? You don't want to hear it again and again. So please avoid that comment. I've always wanted to learn sign. Okay. So when you meet them, it's important that you communicate. You can through sign, right? But there's other ways, just writing back and forth, right? You got your paper and you got your pen, and you can say, do you want to write back and forth? See the direction, me, you. So write back and forth. You can do that. Now with phones, you can type back and forth, right? There's also a thing called video relay. And you might have heard about this. It's a phone call to talk with the deaf individual. I actually work for one that's called Purple, or ZVRS. And you can look on the internet for the 1-800 number. And what happens is you call, you tell them the phone, that you type in the phone number you want to call, and you'll get connected to an operator, which would be an interpreter like me. And then they will connect you to the deaf person, which pops up on my computer screen, and I can see them. And they'll say, hi, who is this? All right, is typically how they're going to answer. Instead of saying just hello, because they can't hear a voice. They have no idea if it's a girl or a boy. I will tell them, woman says hello from health agency. All right, but you exchange a conversation through an interpreter, and it's a very easy flow. But you have to be in separate locations. You can't be in the same room. That's the law, okay, the FCC law. Now, when you're on the video relay having conversation, you're going to have what's called lag time, because it takes time for the interpreter to say what you're saying, right? Because we hear it and we have to wait until there's a full concept, and then we interpret it to their language. And then they have to answer. We have to watch, get the concept, and then interpret it and voice it, talk it back to you. So when you're on the video relay call, give it time, because it's kind of weird in the beginning, but it's going to be us talking and then waiting to hear the response. And then us talking and then waiting for the response. And it's kind of hard at first, but then you'll just get used to it. And then when you're finished, I would suggest you always say, thank you, interpreter, because we work really hard at that job. It's the hardest job that I do in all of my interpreting. Now, so those are 3 different ways that you can communicate: paper, phone, or video relay. Now, another way you can communicate is through an interpreter. I've heard loans, realtor, medical, even though I know yours is teaching in the medical field, not actual patients, but when you have your patients, medical, anything legal, money, loans, hire an interpreter, because later you will have repercussions. I guarantee. I mean, not always, but you can, and you can be sued. So with anything legal, documentation, it's very important that you have, and they're not cheap, but you can use them for a tax write-off. So you will get your money kind of back, right? And you'll use that. And then you can advertise that you follow ADA law or work with deaf individuals, right? So if you're signing or even speaking with a deaf person, you don't have to ask, do you lip read, right? Because they'll tell you if they lip read. And the reason it's hard, when you lip read, you only have 30% of your words on your mouth. The other 70% is in the back of your throat and your tongue. Right? So let's see, I will say something that will wake you up. Are you ready? Let's see your response. I'm going to say something and you tell me what I'm saying. Ready? This is a tough one. Okay.
Try it again.
Aggravated.
What words did I say?
Vacuum.
No, you're
Thank
supposed
you.
to say that I said fuck you.
Oh,
Right? It says vacuum, but look at me.
Oh,
It's the same way. Does that make sense? And I say that with emphasis because people will remember, right? So what you see on your lips is often not what is happening. So you never want to ask, do you understand? Because what they think they understand, what they're interpreting in their mind, might not be what they understand. So it's better to say, would you mind repeating? Would you mind repeating? Because then they'll tell you what they think they said. Because I'm sure before you've heard a person talk and you think you understand what they said, and then later you realize there's a big misunderstanding, right? So instead of saying, understand, do you understand me? Say, would you mind telling me again? Again. All right.
And I was looking at your nonverbal. That's why I said aggravated. I wasn't even looking at the words. So there you go.
Beautiful, which is a wonderful point. Okay. Sign language is not just what you put on your hands. It is your face, your expression, even your lip movement. Like, that's interesting. On your mouth, you do your hand like this, but you say, ma, 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 ma. That's the sign for interesting. Okay. Or we have the sign for famous or success. All right. But if it's a big goal that you've accomplished, right? We did it. We did it. You signed pa. Pa. You don't actually say it, you say. All right. And that's from when they did the deaf protest many years ago at Gallaudet University to finally get a deaf president for that protest. So it's about mouth movement. It's about expressions. It's about body movement, right? When they're talking, you shift from side to side. Mama's talking, looking down at her kid, and you shift your body. Kid's talking, looking up at her mama. So it can be head tilt, it can be body tilt. There's so much. It's not just signs. And so you can tell by expression. Another point, many people think deaf people are angry a lot when they sign because they're very, very expressive. Just because they're big doesn't mean they're angry, right? So you don't want to assume. Another point, which leads, you don't want to watch a deaf conversation. It's considered rude, right? We can't hear people from across the room in a restaurant, right? So you watching the deaf conversation is considered rude. It's like an invasion of their privacy, if that makes sense. All right. So let me see what else. When you are face to face with a deaf person, it's better if you have solid clothing. And the reason is because they can see your hands better. So if you have a pattern or something on, it's harder for them to see and it's more distracting. So you may want to consider wearing one color shirt for that. Okay. Let's see. Okay, the best way to even start is to learn your ABCs. Okay, I could teach them today if you want, or you can look at them on the internet. But the way I started is just with ABCs, right? And remember, you don't have to spell everything. It's just the concept. Like these, you don't ever need, never, right? That's an English thing. So let me tell you an example of ASL. So for English, the dog jumped over the fence. Okay, but in ASL, you're going to assign fence because you're setting up the concept, right? Fence, dog, jumped. And see how I eliminated all the words that weren't necessary because you're only giving them the concept. So don't think you'll need to finger spell or sign every word. Just give them the concept. All right. So a few signs when you meet a deaf person you might want to know. This is hello. Very simple. This is hello. This is goodbye. All right. You already know. How are you? How can I help? How are you? And I'm not signing R, just how you. Okay. And some ways you can respond. Fine. Fine. Good. which is also thank you. But see, you say good, you can see it, and thank you. Two different things. All right. To answer a question, we have yes, because the head is nodding. No, like that. And the reason that was developed is N-O-N-O-N-O, and it got transitioned to. Right. A lot of fonts started with finger spelling, and then they became signs, just shortened. So hello, yes, no, thank you. How can I help you? How are you? Right? Good, fine, are good answers. So other than that, when you're thinking about working with a deaf individual, what are some signs maybe that popped up that you think about that you really would like to know? And if you're typing, I can't see you. So Stephanie or Deb could read the comments if anyone's typing.
So I didn't see anybody. I think,
oh, here we go.
I think those very basic ones are great. And I love that we have those on video, so I can go back and kind of, fine tune those.
Rachel has one. Rachel.
Oh, I was just saying, I didn't know if, since you're working with us, you probably couldn't read it. It's just fascinating to me. There's so many things that you're telling us that I never considered, even as etiquette. I did a face painting party once for a deaf family, and it was so funny to me to be at a party that was silent, and everyone was smiling and having fun, but no one's talking. You don't have all the noise that you're used to. And it was really fascinating, and it was fun, to paint the kids' faces, but I wish I had known better how to communicate instead of just pointing to pictures.
Okay, so that's a very good point. What I want you to think about when communicating with a deaf person, I want you to think about communicating with a regular hearing person like y'all through a glass wall. Think about if it was so thick through this wall that you can hear nothing, but you can still see this person. How would you communicate? Through gesturing. Okay, just go into, instead of words, think about gesturing. Okay, so maybe you don't know the exact sign, but you're showing what you mean. Like, you get that, right? And you bring it over and you put it on the stand for painting, right? And then you get what it looks like, the paintbrush, and you're painting like that. Okay, or you take the tube and you have the thing and you squirt it out, and then you take your paintbrush and you do this and you paint, right? So think about talking through that glass wall, right? You gotta flip that switch from ink to gesturing, and that's gonna help you a lot. Showing paper, the pen, the cosmetics, the lipstick, the eyes, like for Mary Kay, right? Perfume, lotion, all of that. Do gesturing the best you can. Okay.
That's fascinating.
But confirm through video relay, confirm through email is another wonderful one. You have record email, writing, or phone texting back and forth. And the phone texting back and forth, you can do in front of each other, show each other.
That's so cool. But like you said, I never knew the thing about a restaurant, and you can't help but looking at things that are different or unique and trying to figure out what the conversation is or what someone's saying, or just people watching. I never knew that could be rude. I would never want to be rude to someone.
Right. And you just think about, you have two people talking that are just talking, hearing people, and you going up and you're staring at them.
Yeah.
Trying to hear their conversation.
Not so good.
Right. Exactly. So the last point I'll make is, if you want to learn more, I think the community college here in Denver gives ASL classes. You can research that. There's some in the community, they're free. Some you can take at the community college, or now it depends if there's an interpreting program, because often the ASL classes are full, but you can call the dean or the officer to see if it's available. There are deaf socials in the area. Well, Soon there will be deaf socials again, going out to have a coffee, meeting people to learn, right? Deaf people are like hearing people. Some are nice, some are not, right? Just because they have a hearing loss doesn't mean they're all going to be nice. So if someone is mean to you, just blow it off, right? Because people show up once to a deaf social and then they're gone because they get frustrated. So the deaf want to see, is she really coming back? Is she really coming back? Okay. So if you want to learn, you got to be patient. And the best way to learn is by making mistakes, right? So one of my best friends was signing lesbian instead of lemon. That's okay. They're totally the opposite, but that's how we learn, right? Or toilet instead of Tuesday. All right. So, but the point is to try again, make mistakes, and then you'll be good to go. All right, that's my 20 minutes. Any last question? Yay! Next time.
Thank you, Laura. It was good to see you again.
Nice to see you again too.
Yes, lots of great information. Thank you so much. So everybody should get on LinkedIn, follow Dr. Cole. I believe I already have, so I definitely encourage you to reach out through whatever social media platform you're on. So great information. Thank you.
Oh, Facebook is good too because I have a bunch of free videos, which is always nice. Not about science. So I'm going to put it on internet site. Y'all have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, let's switch right on over to Mark, Conifer Radio. I'm excited about what he offers. So I'm just going to hand it over. And Mark, if you need, do you need control of the screen? Because Deb can share that screen if you need it.
We can do it either way. Good morning, everybody. My name is Mark, and I'm representing Conifer Radio. And first of all, thank you for having me on board, and a shout out to Katie Burgoyne with AmRamp, who connected me with all of you. And can you all hear me, first of all?
Yes.
Okay. I have a brief PowerPoint to go through, and I want to just blaze through that and then take your questions, and then I can send you the PowerPoint slide deck through Stephanie that you can have to see later if there's something that you wanted to remember or ask me or do an offline on. But again, thank you very much for that. I'm going to see if I can share this screen. And
I do have the PowerPoint, and I will post it to our private Facebook group when you're done. So I gave you access to be a host. See if you can share your screen. If not, I can pull it up on my computer, whichever works.
Okay. Let's see. Can you see this now?
Yes, sir.
All righty. Let me go to the slide sorter. Can you see that now? Probably not. Yeah, I love Zoom. Don't you guys love Zoom? Okay, I'm just going to use this then. And firstly, I signed on this morning to, in your eyesight here, help you as a small business and or if you're working with a nonprofit, both of you, to gain exposure. It's the reason why I developed the community radio station concept, and where this came from is after I retired from a career in human resources, I needed to have something to do. And I thought about having my own radio station or my own radio show. And I kept saying to myself, why should I have to go down the hill to have my own radio show and go through somebody else's system? Why can't we have our own radio station so that not only myself, but all of you could have your own radio show? And so I came up with the concept of Conifer Radio. And the mission is to create a voice for the Conifer, Colorado, and US 285 corridor, and begin with our corridor communities, and then expand beyond that based on the receptivity of the business model. But regardless of what you want to define as your service area, become the leading audible channel for that area, and then connect people in real time, just as if you were turning on a radio and listening to a radio show. So what is community radio? It's either a service model that emphasizes a community-mindedness focus, and specifically like a small national public radio station for the US 285 corridor, focus on what this station can do for our community. The second thing a community radio station can be is an access model, where people can call in and participate through listener audience. And that'll be phased down the road when we actually have a radio station studio and you actually have staff that's on board to be able to take calls, which can be really helpful in the event that we ever have an emergency of some sort or a weather incident, and people need to know what's going on and what channels one can travel versus what's closed down, those kinds of things. So just our own radio station. So first of all, you have to define the community. I did so from the Morrison city limits to Grant, Colorado, and started there, and it's been very, very rewarding over the last year and a half. I started Conifer Radio back in January of 2020. 2 months later, the pandemic hit us all, and so I've been just growing the radio station organically based on the needs of the community and what people have been telling me they'd like to see in it. So it's grown beyond that. I get interest from Park County. Evergreen's very active in Conifer Radio. And I'm doing this so that each of our neighbors can find their own voice. And I want to welcome all of you, the folks that are part of Mountain Women in Business, to become part of this. And so I got a sales pitch for you later on down the road. How I do this is I do this as if I'm a nonprofit already. I am growing this to be a nonprofit at some point and then turn over the keys to a nonprofit board so that it's seamless, that it's fun, that it's all put together, and all you have to do then is make policy decisions on how you want to grow the station from there. I uploaded my entire CD musical library that I've had over my lifetime, and you can define this as old school alternative classic rock, but call it the other side of the album that you never hear anymore, the side B of the album. People have asked me, what's your listenership? And at any point in time, it can be as few as 5 people, and then it can be into the hundreds. And I never know who's listening when until I log on and I take a look and I go, holy smokes, what are we playing right now that everybody loves? And then, oh, holy smokes, how come we only have 5 listeners? And I start to think about what is it that I need to do differently. I get about 5 to 7 new IP addresses every day. I can see who's logged on. I can't see who you are. I can sometimes see the area that folks are logged on from, Conifer or Bailey or Morrison or Evergreen. If you use your cell phone to access the radio station, it'll beam up to a satellite, it'll beam down to someplace in Texas, and all of a sudden your access point looks like you're listening from Carrollton, Texas. I found this out when I was listening one time, and I was saying, well, who's logged in from Texas? And I realized, well, that must be me. And I realized that sometimes you can't tell where an IP address is actually located. So how you log on to this is that you go to my website, you click on the Listen Live, and it's just like any other streaming audio channel from the internet. And it's actually from a service provider that does this for internet radio stations all over the United States. And the service provider is called Blue Creek Media, which owns Live 365, which is my software platform. And they are located in Bailey, Colorado. So I never realized that until they came up to introduce themselves, that they were owners of Live 365 at Bailey's Cowboy Christmas last year. And I'm going, and you guys are who? And it's just amazing who you run into when you're doing something like this. So once we have a nonprofit established and we actually have a funding stream that's reliable from year to year, we will apply for a future FCC application low power FM station that'll become an educational station, where then start working with the school systems to teach basically radio internet broadcasting to high school students as part of the mission. So Conifer Radio, got 2 things that I have as a mantra here, and that is being positive. No negative stuff goes out. There's plenty of other radio stations for that kind of negativity, and I'm doing my best to make sure that Conifer Radio is not wrapped up or captured up in that. We're also non-political, and the definition of non-political you can see on your screen is not relating to or motivated by politics. Conifer Radio is produced to highlight and celebrate and focus upon your stories. You don't see my name on the business card because I want this and all of you to feel that this is your radio station, and someday it truly will be, for one really main strategic goal. I would like us not to have this radio station bought by any entity down the hill or across the country or across the world, so that you can keep your radio station local and yours. So keep it focused on us, and let's keep it owned by us. For you folks, now here's the meat and potatoes for the presentation today. I want you folks to think about getting your own voice on the radio. And some of you I see on the Zoom meeting here, I've talked to before about this. So let me give you a pitch again. I'm tired of my own voice being on the radio station. I love it when I hear yours. You'll hear when you log in other nonprofit development directors doing pitches for events that are coming up, and you hear that nonprofits are being featured on some of our programming, because this past year we've focused on something called Conifer Podcast, helping our smaller and lesser known nonprofits rise from the pandemic. Sharon Trilk of My Mountain Town came up with this idea, and she and I have partnered on this, where the week before we feature the nonprofit on Coffee on the Corridor, which is my 10-minute to 20-minute morning show that we have every morning at 10 o'clock. And we feature one of our area organizations, get their message out, and then 7 days later they are featured on Conifer Podcast, which is a featurette, goes for about 20 minutes, and we talk about your story and who you are and why it's fun, why you have fun living and working up here. The other thing that we do is we entertain underwriters, and underwriting is a big piece of any public radio station. You try to make certain that your underwriters and your financial supporters are regularly recognized. And once this becomes an FM station, the FCC has very specific rules on what you can say to promote your underwriters, but you can't advertise, which is fine. I don't advertise anyway on this radio station. I recognize, not advertise. So our underwriters are regularly featured, they're promoted, and this helps then me run the radio station at a break-even cost standpoint. And you also don't have to listen to anything that's irritating or obnoxious in terms of advertising. And I hope to keep the radio station going at a minimum of cost, so you don't have those irritating nonstop fundraising efforts where when you go on to NPR and you hear this nonstop, they beg you for money, they beg you for money, they beg you for money, drives me crazy. So I hope that Conifer Radio doesn't become that. For you folks today, I want you have a homework assignment. I want you to think of 3 top of mind value propositions about you that make you who you are. And I use the example of Jane's Firewood. Jane has a firewood operation, and she does 3 primary things for her clients. She offers local firewood solutions to people who live up here in the mountains. She offers blocked, split, and full logs immediately available for pickup, and or we'll deliver them to you. And she offers firewood splitting services in the event that you have your own blocked wood, but you need to have it split. So those are the things that make up Jane's business. What I would do if Jane came to me and wanted to be an underwriter of Conifer Radio is we would put together her recognition that reads something like this. Support for Conifer Radio this hour is provided by Jane's Firewood in Pine, Colorado. Jane and her local team offers firewood either in hardwood or soft, will split, block, or provide 6-foot lengths and free delivery within a 10-mile radius. Further details are available by calling Jane at 555-555555 or at janesfirewood.com. That's FCC compliant. And I'm training all of us how to do this now so that when we become an actual over-the-air FM station, we'll all know how to do this, and we'll be doing this legally. So what's next? I need to have annual, regular community support through the form of underwriting. Again, looking forward to involving the high schools and getting this part of potentially journalism curriculum to have students learn how to do their own radio shows and produce their own content. And for all of you, big seed plant here. Imagine if Mountain Women in Business had its own regular radio show and one of you interviewed another of you in a same thing that I do for Conifer Podcast featurette, and that we regularly post that out there about something fun that's going on amongst all of you, and then have that broadcast regularly. So big seed plant, love to have you take part. That's how Conifer Radio is going to be delivering content in the future. It's going to be local content, locally produced, and locally listened to. Just like item 5 says, I want to see the community have fun. So any questions you might have about everything I've just talked about?
Nobody. Okay. Well, I love the nonprofit exposure that you do, Mark. And I also I'm kind of excited about the exposure, the possible exposure that Mountain Women in Business could get. I'm not sure if, you know, if any of the members would be interested in having, you know, one of us interview, but I mean, I'm certainly open to a lot of different ideas. So I would love to hear from all of our members. I mean, I've never really, you know, dealt with radio, but I can certainly talk a lot. And so,
yes,
Rachel.
I was going to say too, I had a great opportunity to talk to Mark on the phone a while back, and hopefully he can email me some of this information again. But I was surprised how affordable it really is. It's not like calling Alice, you know, whatever radio station and them wanting your firstborn and your mortgage payment and everything like that. It was very reasonably priced for these little segments and the spotlights and things like that too. So if he could maybe email me some more of that information so I can share it with the group, we could talk amongst ourselves and get started doing some more of these little segments for ourselves if we're interested, as well as I like the idea for interviewing each other and getting more exposure for our group too. It's fascinating. Thank you.
And I love the, you know, Josie, that could be a, you know, a really good possibility opening for you with your business. But I mean, really, probably everybody could benefit from that. So what were you going to say, Mark?
Well, I was going to, you know, I forgot the money question. For underwriting, it's $40 a week with a 1 month minimum, but you get your hour, 1 hour a day during peak listenership to get your message out the way I kind of read it about Jane's Firewood. The other thing I do is for Conifer Podcast, we've been giving it free for this past year for nonprofits to just give them a helping hand and a boost and a rise out of the pandemic. Conifer Podcast for private sector, for businesses is $300 a segment, but you get your basically 2 weeks in the sunshine plus your podcast itself to be focused upon. And I find that to be real valuable for people who are trying to get their largesse and their message out there. And I will be at Elevation Celebration. I'll have my little blue booth there. You're welcome to stop by and get recorded. We can give this a try. We'll record a shout out for you. I did this at Cowboy Christmas. I did this at Bailey Day. It's a hoot. I've been doing it for the Venue Theater for their farmers markets, and the receptivity is really pretty good, and it's fun to watch people hear their voice after we record it and listen to your message.
Can I hire you to be my voice?
Well, all things are possible right now. What I'm doing is I am literally listening to what people want and want to see this to be. I had my own kind of idea about how this is all going to work. Then nature has her own way of defining how a community radio station is actually going to produce. But if you just have fun with it, geez, just have fun. It's amazing how things come across over the radio, and then people say, "I want to do that too. I want to be that. How did you get that opportunity?" And then hopefully that word of mouth will help build the radio station and all of you with what you're doing. So it's been a hoot.
Awesome.
So without further ado, I'll get you back to your meeting. Again, thank you very much for your support, your future support of the radio station. I know some of you on this call right now, I already have sort of lined up to take part. Thank you for considering me and the conversations we've had before.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate all the information.
Great information. Great information. Thank you,
Go 285. All right. Bye-bye.
Okay. And once again,
Mark.
Get him on LinkedIn. You know, follow him on whatever social media you happen to be on. But just connect. So, okay. So